The Reserve Bank of India Governor Sanjay Malhotra issued a monetary policy statement. The Monetary Policy Committee has decided unanimously to reduce the policy rate by 25 basis points, which is from 6.5% to 6.25%, whereas the standing deposit facility rate will be at 6%. RBI has estimated real GDP growth for the next year to be at about 6.7%. The announcement provides important insights into the central bank's monetary policy. Our correspondent Shama Mishra joins us from Mumbai. Shama, good morning. Now, the MPC has been announced by the RBI. Let us know how do you, gauge or how do you evaluate this? Was it on the expected lines?
Well, Preeti, yes, it was much on the expected lines, and more than expected lines, it was a demand, it was a cry for a very long time, and this has been delivered to people, the citizens of India. And this is the first monetary policy announcement of the new governor of Reserve Bank of India, Sanjay Malhotra, and also the first monetary policy announcement after the budget. So it was a very crucial one, and as we've said that it was on the expected lines. So nearly in 5 years, this is the first rate cut that India is seeing from the Reserve Bank of India. It was 6.5%, and now 0.25 basis points have been reduced. So now the key rate stands at 6.25%. So that is definitely a welcome step for the whole country. Apart from that, the neutral stance from the MPC has remained intact. There has been no change in that. We also talk about how the governor puts up the projection for GDP, for the CPI inflation. Going to the GDP for the last quarter, the quarter 4 for FY25 has remained same, and that is around 7.2%. But however, the quarter 1, quarter 2 for FY26 has been reduced, so that the GDP growth data or the growth projection is now, which was earlier 6.9, is now Q1 is 6.7. Same in a similar manner. The other Q2, Q3, Q4 have also been tweaked. So, going forward, we can expect a slowdown, and in Q3 we are expecting around 7% of the growth in the GDP. So that is a good point over there. On the CPI inflation front, that has been intact. That's not been touched. So 4.2% is that what was projected last time, and it's same. The governor, however, highlighted that going forward there could be an ease in inflation. So that's another welcome point over here. A relief over here, because the country overall has been battling inflation, and even when RBI saw it coming into its target range of 4%, give or minus plus or minus 2%, it has stayed above the target range, and the aim of the Reserve Bank of India has always been that the point that it comes down to 4%, it should stay there. It should not be variable. It should have a sustained down projection and a sustained down percentage. Apart from that, the governor has highlighted that the uncertainties in the global world, in the global factors, that continues, and that will have a ripple effect to our country. Apart from that, on the front of the cyber frauds, governor has really mentioned a lot of measures on that front, because as the technology increases, advances, it brings convenience, but also it brings the scammers with new ways of scamming people. So governor has highlighted and put out few measures. One of them being now the two-factor authentication that we used to have. It will now be passed on, and the international transactions will also be under this purview. We are also seeing the banks should have a particular http.fin.in, this particular address they should be having, so that the citizens so that the consumers, they know that they are actually transacting with the original website of the bank and not with some fraud website. Apart from that, we have also seen that the governor has said that for seeing the trade timing, there will be a special committee that will be formed, and that will also see the overall trade timings and the way it works. So yes, a very eventful day, eventful start for the new governor, and now we'll have to see what governor speaks in the 12 o'clock press conference that he'll be speaking to the reporters over there.
All right, Shyama, now this MPC was announced, immediately. This was the first MPC announced after the union budget was announced for 2025-26. What were the challenges that were pointed out by the governor when we talk of India? Any particular external factors? How is India placed on the global page as compared to the other counterparts, the other world nations? Also, there could also be important optimistic points for the economy to look forward to. Put all this together, get us more on all this as well.
Well, the challenge for RBI currently is how to balance the growth and how to keep the inflation in check. Now we are talking about inflation, so the projection over there has been same. There has been no change in it, so we can understand that 4.2 is something what RBI would want to happen, and would also be something which is in the comfortable range of Reserve Bank of India. And when it comes down to 4.2, it will be a good factor for the citizens as well, because inflation has been rising and putting it in under control has been a challenge. As I mentioned earlier, that not just bringing it down to 4%, but keeping it sustained there below 4% time after time is an important task for Reserve Bank of India, and also a challenge. On the external front, I have mentioned that earlier. Governor in his speech has said that there have been uncertainties on the international front, and India is obviously a part of the global world, so India will have some impacts of it. Like I said, the GDP projections have been brought down, so the ripple effect can be seen coming over there. However, by Q3, we can see that the optimistic part over here is that we will touch 7% according to the projection. If that is not again, in the next bi-monthly policy again tweaked or brought down. So there is a positive factor over there, an optimistic point over there, that India in the Q3 of FY26 will be at 7% for the GDP. So that's a very nice point over there, and the thrust of the Reserve Bank of India, which is continuously on the consumers, on the citizens' benefits, be it the advancement of technology, protecting them from frauds, giving them proper solutions, facilities. He has listed out a lot of that, and even the banks and NBFCs, they've been told that they should get involved in educating, in coming out with financial inclusion, especially for women.
Right.
So overall, the governor has given out a message to various stakeholders, and that everyone should come together and work for the development. And definitely the next quarter, which will be the next bi-monthly policy rather, which will be after 2 months, we will have to see how things are panning out.
All right.
And because this is just the budget, this is the MPC just after the budget, so we will have to see how things are developing.
All right. Thank you so much, Shyama, for joining us with those details.